Maximum Driftcast, the only drifting podcast hosted by a Spanish soccer mom, a 30-year-old silver-haired fox going on 60, and finally, a 200-pound bowl of spaghetti with chimichanga arms.
The champions, we are the champions.
Oh,
And
man.
we're
Okay,
live
so this
again.
is now a video show, and Corey's doing very lewd things with his mouth. I don't know. Can we get like an R rating for the show, Corey?
I hope it just gets disputed and it gets removed. That's what I'm
All right,
shooting for.
Fair enough. So, anyways, yeah, we're sitting right next to each other in the same studio, right? Like that's the deal. Where we're just a bunch of guys hanging out right on each other's laps.
Okay. One. Sam?
Hey.
Okay. Yep. No, it's okay. It's all good. Yeah, keep going.
All right. Well, cool. There's no technical difficulties. The show's
Nope.
perfect, and we are all very happy.
Yep.
Do you guys want to talk about what happened this weekend?
I can't wait. It was insane.
Well, what do you think about it?
I think it was probably one of the most awaited things for quite a while, I would say.
Yeah, and I would say that honestly, it fulfilled all of my fantasies, the wild ones, the child ones. There was drama, there was suspense, there was anger, were there any breasts? Did we see any breasts out? I don't remember.
There was just one.
Yeah, one breast, singular, and but yeah, this weekend really was just wild for me, and I just want to talk about it with you guys for 2 hours.
Perfect. Corey?
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I missed everything this past weekend. I just, I was in a vegetative state, honestly.
Yeah, well,
Totally opposite of everything you guys, because I know this weekend has meant a lot to you, but I was a vegetable.
which vegetable would it be, broccoli or hot dog?
I was more of a bratwurst.
Yeah, bratwurst is my favorite vegetable mostly.
Yeah, I grew up eating those when I was a kid. And my grandma used to serve them to me. She was a sweetheart.
Anyways, the show was nuts. We all sat from our couches and we couldn't believe what happened, and that's why for the next 2 hours we're just gonna be talking about Game of Thrones. So it opened up, right? With yep, that's right. Paco, sing the whole song.
We have plenty of time.
Yep. So all right. So this is now a Game of Thrones podcast, and because obviously that's the really important thing that happened this weekend, and we're gonna start up with a complete Paco mouth singing version of the intro. Paco. Oh my God, it's fantastic. It's like I'm actually watching it.
It's I mean I recorded that audio with my cell phone, so
yeah.
That wasn't me doing it with my mouth. Yeah, it's Maximum Thronecast.
I thought that you turned on the actual show. It sounded perfect.
Perfect. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to do that, but also at the same time, I kind of want to talk about From the Drift Canada, if we have time for it. Should we talk about that for a minute?
Sure. I mean, why not, right? I mean,
We're here. We're kind of
Yeah.
here. Do you know?
So this is also, if you couldn't tell, our first show where I am sitting at a desk in California, and these two beautiful men are sitting at a desk in Phoenix, and it's thanks to the power of the World Wide Web. You don't even know.
It's like it's like we're in the same room. Like, you can't even tell, like, there's like any difference on video quality. Audio is perfect, and yeah, we're all here.
Anyway, so I was at FD Canada. I saw a lot of it unfold. Unfortunately, I didn't see a lot of it unfold as well because I was running back and forth on the grid to start VODs, GoPros, and whatnot. But what was it like for you guys watching at home?
Man, it was so hard to watch, Sam, because what I was thinking about the whole time is what you were doing, and I got tired. I was tired thinking, I got tired of just imagining what you were doing. And I was actually sidetracked to that. I was watching Jared Dienda's Snapchat story or Instagram story, and you were wearing a half Canadian tuxedo yesterday.
I was wearing jeans.
A jean shirt, like a denim jean shirt.
I was wearing my media guy vest. I don't know what you're talking about, bud.
No, yesterday when you guys were out touring Quebec.
Oh, yeah. I was just wearing a blue shirt and I had some jeans on. What are you talking about?
That
guy?
was more of a semi Canadian tuxedo, but I got tired watching that too.
Listen, friend.
Yeah. So yeah, back to the event.
There was a lot of poutine.
Yeah, God, yeah, man. It's I think everybody in Formula D shares the same Instagram script as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got at 6:00. Let's get a poutine snap in. 7:30. Let's get a picture of us smashing O'Doul's. 9:00.
Yep,
Let's
a
hit
lot
the-
of duels at that event. And I actually did have the track poutine. There was two poutine trucks right across from each other. I had one of them on the first day. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna have poutine. I got a large poutine. And for those that don't know, it's a French fry basket essentially, a cup of French fries covered in gravy and also cheese curds. It was delicious. All right. So I have like a 7-minute drive to my hotel, and I started eating this stuff while I'm driving. Not the best driving food. And then within like 3 minutes of the trip, my stomach just goes.
That sounds pretty good.
You had an alien in your stomach.
And I barely made it back to the hotel. Let's just wrap it up there.
Oh, because you were tired, I'm guessing.
I was very tired. My
And I
stomach was
barely
tired.
made it because I was ready to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So Poutine and me, I guess, are not best friends. But I talked to the Lawnmower Man, Ryan Lontaine. He's a Poutine fan. I guess they're on the gravy train there in Canada. It's the gravy life, and they love it.
Isn't that what you get after you eat poutine?
The gravy train?
Yeah.
Yeah, you take a hot ride on the gravy train.
Wow.
Yep. So yeah, I watched the event and it was absolutely incredible.
Yep.
I feel so bad for everybody.
Yep.
I don't know. It was heartbreaking.
I think it was weird. It was one of the most insane rounds because it started kind of uneventful, being with eight buy runs we had this time, but it ended up being one very exciting round to watch. It was a lot of crashing. There was a lot of unexpected things. Overall, I mean, I think it was a very good round. I mean, as far as entertainment.
Yeah. But what about all the delays? Did that bother you from the TV perspective? Because it definitely bothered me at the track because I would set GoPros for Vaughn and then I'd have like 45 minutes of dead time on them. And I figured that everyone watching on the live stream must be a little bit annoyed seeing a still image of my dork face holding up Forsberg during the championship last year.
Well, it was funny because like now the commercial break, depending where you're watching. If you're watching directly on YouTube, you only see that still, but there was no audio. There was not even like music or anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It kind of went through fast actually. We heard there was like some kind of incident outside the stadium and the ambulance had to go out, right?
Yeah, which is kind of a weird thing. So apparently what happened, why they had to delay the beginning of Top 32, is that there's one ambulance there to cater to all of FD, and I guess there was a accident outside the track, and for whatever reason that ambulance had to go tend to that. So they had to delay this entire event with thousands of people watching live and thousands of people watching over the internet because the one ambulance that they had left, which is very strange, but... it only delayed the show a little bit, but that's kind of a weird thing that shouldn't have happened. So that kicked off the weird night of the event.
It was pretty much it set up like this is what you guys are gonna get, just so you know.
Yeah, which I didn't even know at the time until someone told me later. But yeah, what were you and Corey watching it together?
No, Brian and I were watching, and Corey was working on his car. Were you watching?
I was watching. I still
Okay.
watched it. Yep.
All right, so let's go through some of the weird battles. Of course, we had 8 buy runs in the top 32, which
Top
they weren't
32.
they're like so they didn't run those in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
And then I think that I heard the drivers voted to run them here, and I'm very curious if Peter Wiechek voted to run them because he got beat by Byron.
Yeah, he did vote because Jared did announce it that if the drivers and Peter did not vote pro buy run, then he wouldn't have obviously yard sold it.
Yeah, so Peter crashed in practice and they couldn't get his car back together. Vaughn's pit was right across, and I watched Kevin Lawrence with his 5-minute timer over there. Not Kevin Lawrence. Kevin Lawrence.
Good
is the
job.
driver.
Kevin
Kevin
Wells.
Wells. I watched Kevin Wells over there with his 5-minute timer. that jerk with his clock. And I watched Peter like nearly in tears as the clock ticked down, and he lost to Byron in top 32 as they couldn't get his car back together in time, which is so insane. Like I know that you have to keep the show going and you have to be strict on the rules, but yeah, that's just insane. I don't know. It sucked.
And then we had so many things happening. Turk also. I mean, he didn't lose to Byron, but he lost against the clock as well.
How many times did Turk crash this weekend, Sam?
2 that I know of. Maybe there's a third, but yeah, he definitely crashed hard against Gucci in his top 16 battle, and then he crashed in practice as well. No, he crashed in qualifying.
It wasn't his second qualifying run, I think, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
One of the interesting.
They told the drivers that you don't need to run the wall hard, and they're not going to give you points, or at least super points for running the wall like an asshole. Which usually that's the goal. Like you try to wall tap and run your ass against the wall every time, like a dog with a scratchy butt in a carpet.
Yeah.
Is that a good analogy?
Apparently there's.
But like I was talking to Biddy, Turk's spotter, and he's like, "Yeah, I told Turk not to run the wall, but these drivers just don't know how to not do that." So everyone's running the wall, and the problem with the wall is that there's tire marbles.
Yeah.
So tire marbles being just like little chunks of tire that just make you lose grip. Yep. And not only that, there's the spike in the wall, like halfway through the initiation first outer zone wall in Montreal. It's not an even wall like Seattle. There is a large outcropping of cement that has murdered many cars. So drivers were told they didn't need to do that, or so I heard. And they were doing it anyways, and it resulted in Chelsea ruining some shit. Turk hit some stuff. Kristaps hit some stuff, and like 5 other people probably.
Gucci hit some stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Gucci hit. I didn't get to see it live, but Gucci hit Turk as a result of Turk hitting the wall, which made my team go to the top 4. Thanks, Turk.
Then also Matfield got hit by Dean Kearney.
That was
so hard to watch because it was such a weird hit. It sent Matfield's car to the nose first into the wall. You can see in the replay he's all shaking. That's really you can tell the Hans device is there for a reason.
Yeah, without the Hans device, he could have been seriously injured. Even with the Hans device, he could have been seriously injured. Yeah, I was watching from the end of that alley right there, very close to it, and I was honestly worried for a moment about his health because he literally hit that wall like 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. I don't even know, head on. It was hard to watch.
Yeah.
And,
it was crazy.
They got the car back together.
Yeah, what's crazy is they didn't really get the car back together, but they just got it decent enough where he could run. And so he ran without a supercharger, without an intercooler piping, without even an air filter. It was literally a throttle body into Dean Kearney's tire smoke. So I wonder how much crap that engine sucked in, but they made it run, and that's a very commendable, very.
Yeah.
Very.
It was crazy seeing them do that. So they had 10 minutes to fix the car because of Kearney's hit, and then they had to use their actual 5 minutes to get it going on the ground. And I'm just watching them rip off intercooler piping. I'm watching them rip off just like parts of the car. So I don't know if they had an NA tune.
And before that, when they were like pulling, they're trying to pull his car off the trailer, it fell off the trailer and it messed up the drive shaft. So the drive shaft damage just happened because of the car fell off the trailer and hit so hard, it did some bend. So he managed to do one more run, but that was it. They gave him a one more time, I think.
We could do a whole episode about Matt Field's experience, but
it was
we do at some point. But we just had him on the show, so we're not talking to him today. I don't think we're talking to anyone today, right? We're just gonna shut it down after 5 more minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Sam, you're gonna basically call 5 minutes, and then once your 5 minutes is up, then we're gonna shut down the show. So whenever you start your 5 minute timeout, we'll start countdown from ending the show.
Yeah, but Matt Field's day was very unfortunate with the tow truck driver dropping his car. Bending the drive shaft, and I don't know if that car. I actually texted him after that. He said the car will live again, but
it has to live in 2 weeks.
Not ideal.
Yeah, the car has to live in 2 weeks. I don't think people realize that. Seattle's literally
crazy.
2 weeks a day.
Happening.
So in less than 14 days, I'd say Matt probably has 8 days to rebuild that car because
Seattle is that soon.
Yeah, it's on the August 3rd, August 4th.
Yeah, I'm flying out the second.
Yeah.
And hold on, let's talk about that for a second, Corey. What's going on in the second?
On the second, Sam, we are hosting Maximum Driftcast AM K1 Speed Drifter vs Go Kart Crash Test Demolition Derby at K1 Speedway Seattle.
Yep.
So for you guys that are going to Formula Drift Seattle, Sam and myself, Paco will hopefully be flying out later that week. We will be hosting the K1 Speed Maximum Driftcast Drive Against Formula Drift Drivers, where you can go out and compete against your favorite Formula Drift driver. We'll have Chris Forsberg, Christoph Blues, other AEM K&N drivers out there competing, while we will be hosting the event, Sam, and driving as well, hopefully. So bring your little mittens and your tube socks, because we're going racing, buddy.
As the old saying goes, bring your mittens and your tube socks, we're going racing.
Yep, that's exactly what we're doing. Uh-oh. Paco's
Oh, no.
Paco's hacking the mainframe right now. He just took total control over our big balls.
This is a new thing that's going on here with our stream and the talking and the.
Yep.
But is someone hacking into our mainframe?
It seems like somebody's getting into the mainframe right now. It's okay. So, there was a hacker. We just had a laser beam shoot through our sound wave, Sam.
Okay. Well, it looks like they're gone, thankfully,
Yep.
and we can continue the show as planned without
So,
any interruptions.
If you did hear that sound through either the podcast or the live stream on YouTube, we just logged everything you remembered growing up. So that's now in our database.
Yeah, Corey's mom picked up the phone and the modem was shut down. Oh God, what is
happening here?
Oh, look at that.
Some-
Look, who's that guy in the screen, Corey?
some sort of Norse god just covered half my computer screen?
Some
But I can't-
Greek statue. Wow, the Magic Man.
Wow. Are
Does
we,
he have
guys?
birth?
are we
Oh my
dreaming?
God.
Oh, it's alive.
It's
there's-
not just a statue.
It has a voice.
We were worried that we were going to have to get a cardboard cutout and just prop you up next to Paco and I, but we're very thankful for you reporting in live.
Yeah, good evening, guys.
How's it?
Obviously, as everyone can hear, if you're not watching, you can hear that we're speaking to Christoph's Blues. Christoph, what do you think about the event? How did that go for you?
Fucking beep.
The first half doesn't need the beep. The second one, for some reason,
He got his beeps reversed.
Yeah, Christoph, your choice of censoring words is a little bit off, but you know.
Sorry, it's spelled differently over there.
Everything
Yeah.
it's opposite day to day. It's opposite day
Yeah.
in Canada, so you just it's kind of bleep what you want. But
Yeah. Sorry about that.
thanks for being here, Christoph. It means a lot. It really does.
what's Christoph's nickname? The Latvian.
The Latvian lettuce.
Lettuce.
The Latvian lover, I think.
Oh, who? I don't know. I mean,
Paco would like to find out.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, give me a jingle.
Hey, Latvian lover.
Because you're the Latin lover,
The what?
the Latina lover.
That's pretty close, actually.
The lawnmower.
That's Ryan
The
Lantain.
lawnmower's taken.
Yeah,
Oh,
lawnmower's
yeah,
Ryan, the lawnmower
lawnmower.
man Lantain. Paco is the land string bean.
No, I was the chorizo helicopter.
I don't even know what that means.
But it's a burrito, Sam. So
Pretty much.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's
No,
PG.
but actually, now that I look closer, we're not talking to some stone cold Latvian killer. We're talking to Fredric the Jawline Aasbo. What's up, man?
Nice. That was a really
Yes, sir. Yeah, hi guys. It's Frederic reporting in from Montreal. I'm still stuck here in Canada.
Wow, it's not a
Sounds-
bad place to be
sounds
stuck
like-
at.
I love it
Yeah.
out here. It's awesome. I mean, I guess yeah, it's my favorite place in the
Really?
whole wide world right now.
So what do you think about them building a wall around their country? You cool with that?
I think that's smart because they want
Wow.
to protect their borders, right?
Yeah, how
All
else are they
those-
going to keep out the White Walkers?
Yeah.
Um,
No,
if you really love it out there, tell us how much you love poutine.
I love it. I just don't know what it is yet. I've had it, but it's I've had it late at night to where I wasn't really that critical of what I was eating, and never really quite figured out what poutine was. But then I think poutine is also slang for something slightly more dirty. So
Oh, wow.
In Spanish,
can I say?
in
I like
Spanish it
poutine.
means like little gay.
Little gay?
Oh, is that what it is?
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's in Spanish.
So how would you use poutine in a sense?
Eres Putin.
What does that mean?
You're a little gay.
I'd still eat it.
All right.
I'd still eat it.
So
I
why?
was amused.
Why,
So
why
I'm very confused about the direction of that that conversation.
no, well, why are you still stuck in Canada? Why aren't you flying to California or back home? What are you doing?
Well,
still doing out there?
don't you know he has to defend the big ice wall
Yeah.
from the
Yeah,
White Walkers.
There's a couple reasons. One is, where is home? Right now, I'm not really sure where home is. And two is, I'm traveling to Tokyo on Wednesday for a training camp. So trying to learn how to drift better. I'm going to Ebisu to visit Andy Gray, and he has some cars set up. Going to be there practicing for a week. Then I'm competing in the FD Japan exhibition match at Fuji, and then headed straight from Tokyo back to Seattle. So I'm kind of on this like around the world kind of drifting trip right now, and this is a perfect time to explore Montreal. I'm here with the Formula Drift TV guys, Shabin and the Scenic guys, and we're living it up a little bit in Montreal, so having a great time.
Wow, that was a very nice humble brag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why does the winningest now Formula Drift driver in history have to be taught how to drift by Andy Gray?
Because it's a moving target, you know. Yes, we've had a lot of success, and I think this weekend was amazing. We ended up being the first team and driver combo to win 10 events, and we've done a three-peat in Canada. But you know, if you really dissect the weekend, there were still a lot of errors that I made, and you know, I still have a lot of room to improve. So that's why I want to keep continuing, and you know, I want to keep trying to improve myself, improve my driving. And what better way to do that than to go to the holy grail of drifting at Ebisu in Japan? So
Right.
it's a little bit of that's my excuse. The reality is to go there and talk smack and have fun. And Andy's a cool guy, and I mean, drifting's the most fun thing you can do in a car. So why not?
What about making whoopee in the back seat? Is that fun?
What is whoopee?
That's making
like
whoopee.
poutine.
No, making whoopee is
Oh.
basically watching every Sister Act movie in the backseat of your car with your girlfriend.
Yep, that's absolutely
I
correct.
see.
Yeah, so it's making
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg.
I'm bringing my girlfriend there, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
If you guys can whip some Whoopi.
That's
I guess so.
so. What's what are you driving in FD Japan? Is it FD Japan or D1? What are you running out there again?
I am driving the RSR GT86, so that's a NASCAR-powered GT86. The one I've been competing in that
Right.
car for numerous years out in Asia, and we've had a little bit of a break from that old program, and now it's firing back up. So
Nice.
it'll be cool to get reacquainted with that car.
Can you say that line from the RSR commercial, the finishing line?
Ichiban.
Oh,
That
my-
one?
Yep. He
Yeah,
knows
no,
it.
Yeah, just plays repeat in his head over and over.
Yeah.
Do you get
yeah.
that one the first take, or do you have to like 100?
I think we nailed that one on pretty much the first take.
They're like,
Nice.
oh, Fredric, very good, Fredric.
Oh, no, Ichiban, Ichiban, Ichiban.
Uno more time, Fredric, very good.
Yeah, it's tacky, but it's cool. I like the whole Japanese culture and how it's such a different.
Uh-oh. We can hear you now. Okay, 1 second. Sam, can you hear us?
Looks,
Okay, looks like
we're
okay,
gonna
looks,
fire that back up.
wait 1 second. Looks like we lost audio from Skype. So Corey,
Oh, hey, Paco.
we'll be back with these guys in a second. Like we're fixing it right now, but we were talking about
Competing in FD Japan because
competing
he
in
ran the
Japan.
RSR program for what 2 years before
Yeah.
this.
Can you hear me?
There you go. You're back. So
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Yep.
got you.
Yep.
Got you
Okay,
loud
there
and
you go.
clear. Loud and clear. Yeah. When was the last time you drove the RSR car?
Oh man, when was that? Maybe 2015, I
2015.
think.
So 2 years ago, and what the car has been doing, has it just been sitting overseas, kind of chilling?
Yeah, and I think Rito drove the car for some other exhibition match. What's going on?
I think so.
Some food just is getting delivered to my house. Don't
Somebody.
worry about it.
Hey.
Nice. No, I drove the car in 2015, and it's been sitting, and that car it's now. I'm really curious to see how everything pans out at Fuji, because it's a little bit low in power compared to most of the drift cars of today. But then again, it's set up pretty well. Has a really dope transmission. It's loud and obnoxious, but we'll see if it has enough power to hang with the best of them at Fuji.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to think about. You're comparing this NASCAR V8 to your little turboed four-banger, saying it doesn't have enough power.
It's crazy, huh? Like the Sienna minivan motor is now actually way more powerful than.
You all know what's really ruining drifting, right? Is those 4-cylinder turbo.
There's too many of them now.
1,000 horsepower, man.
Yeah.
It's killing it.
The sounds. There's
too
many.
Right?
There's
It's
too many
horrible.
of them. The
So,
sounds just obnoxious.
You gotta go with what started the drifting was the loud V8.
The LS. Yeah. It's funny how that is. Like, perception is reality, right? It's always, and people always want what isn't there. I realized, and hey, that's drifting. It's half style and half competition. So people come from all kinds of camps, right? And they all want drifting to be this specific thing. It's an interesting culture.
Yeah, I guess a style is it's an objective thing. So there's different kinds of styles. I know, like, a lot of people won't consider, like American style of drifting. They just say, "Oh, that's not style." It's just it's just different. But one of the things that, for example, like right now, Formula Drift is being dominated by Europeans, and Europeans are pretty much considered, like stylish drifters overall.
Really?
Stylish in their wardrobe, stylish in their drifting.
Yep.
So, like I don't know, like the whole argument about style. I mean, look at the guys who are on top. We have two JZs, we have a 4-banger with a turbo, and we have ESA has a BMW engine. So we have like pretty much the trifecta right there.
Yeah.
But then Chris Dobson fourth has a LS.
Oh yeah, well, so I guess the 4-fecta then. It was pretty much, you have engines from all corners, low displacement, big displacement, turbo, non-turbo, and I think at the end of the day, it's the driver. It's how somebody drives and what makes that whole style thing. And we have you that, like, when you drive a 4-cylinder turbo here and a V8 in Japan, so I think it doesn't get better than that example, right? We lost audio again with
See, the
guys.
Canadians are interfering with the audio. That they're realizing it's flying over their borders, hitting the United States, and they won't let it send it back. So it ends up going into I call it a limp mode. It goes into a Canadian limp mode.
Let's see. Can you hear us now? Nope. Okay. Let's. I don't know what it's like. Internet.
Oh, we got Goran Kalasan saying good morning from Sweden. What's up from Sweden? But anyways, guys, we were talking about the multiple leaders in the FD Points Championship. The Europeans are taking over, and I would consider Fredric one of them. Dang it.
Yeah, it's okay. We're setting.
So, anyhow.
Sorry, we lost these guys on Skype, so we're about to get them back. So one sec, just bear with us. Skype's obviously, it's internet-based, so there's a lot of internet connections between Fredric Aasbo, Sam Nalvin, and us. So there you go. So Freddy's back. Can you hear us?
Yes, but I cannot hear or see Sam.
Okay, so Sam, we'll get him back right now.
Yeah.
There you go. So, there you go. So, Sam, boom. There you go. So he'll come back in a second. So in the meanwhile, what?
Oh my God! Look at Sam's profile picture on Skype.
I don't know. We should show that. Oh, there you go.
Of course you should start. Hey Sam, your profile pictures on Skype is Stephanie kissing you on the face, and it's very adorable.
Thank you.
It's so
We're
adorable.
going back into the show now.
Yeah,
we
welcome
were.
back.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, welcome back. So should we just talk like we never had an interruption?
That would be funny. All right, can we take that back from the top, guys? Let's go back to the beginning. No, just kidding. But
can we talk about Freddie's FD experience? Freddie,
Yes.
what happened at Canada for you? How is that going?
Yeah, FT Canada, third time here, and I mean, even after winning 2 of these in a row, I didn't really have a lot of confidence coming in here. You know, with James on a tier this year, Kristaps out for blood, you know, the Mustang Bros at it. It was I really didn't have high hopes, but then magically everyone started crashing out, and we just endured and got through. And I think we almost lost to Mark Landreville, but somehow we won that battle. And then against James made a really rare mistake, and there we were in the finals.
Yeah.
And then Kristaps made another mistake, and it's we keep coming back to drifting competitively being about not making mistakes, and
Right.
it's what worked out this time. And I think we were able to do kind of the right thing at the right time, and that was it.
So let's start from the top though. So first of all, the track is gnarly as hell, but you managed to qualify 4th. What did you have to do to dial in to get that 4th place position?
Actually, qualifying day was probably the toughest because it was raining, it was drying up, it was really patchy, and this track runs across a drag strip. And it, on a drag strip, they put down like track bite, and track bite's really grippy in the drive. When it rains, it turns into black ice. So really
Like black
tricky.
guys?
It doesn't turn into black ice, but it feels like black ice.
Black
It's-
guys or black eyes?
Black ice.
Sam's got something in
Black-
his mouth, obviously.
Black
So,
eyes.
Yeah, so
There you
it was really tough, and it was really tough to put on smooth runs in a track that inconsistent. But we were able to kind of hang in there and salvage the 4th place qualifier, and that gave us a bye
Salvage.
run.
I mean, you don't salvage a 4th place. You work hard. You work damn hard
Yeah.
for a 4th place.
You work hard, but it's still like you're always chasing the car around the track because you don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
So the feeling from the seat is that you're always kind of chasing it, and you're not really sure what's going to happen.
Now, did you vote for doing the buy runs, or were you against doing the buy runs?
I voted for doing the bye runs.
Just for extra practice, or what was your reasoning there?
Just because this track especially is changing so much in between, different temperatures and weather conditions. And
Yeah.
if you do get a bye run, if you are no one to battle in top 32 due to getting a bye run, and you don't do at least one run, you're essentially sitting there waiting for 5-6 hours. And the track can change by a lot in that time. Plus, you're totally cold when you go out for your top 16.
Right.
So I think, I'm really qualifying high then turns into a disadvantage. So that's why I think most of the guys were happy to see that FD wanted us to do the buy runs.
Do you other Phoenix guys have any questions about Byron before we talk about the next battle?
yeah. How much of a fan of Byron are you? Have you ever lost to him?
I haven't lost to Byron yet. I see it's on Instagram now. Byron666.
He's all over the place right now, man. Like
It's all over the place. Yeah.
I think and it was in the last episode when we somebody mentioned that they did the math and they'll be
Yeah, Byron is technically leading the points championship right now. If they accumulated all the points from the beginning of the season till now, he's actually beating James Dean by 100 points.
Really? Just
Yeah.
really by qualifying points, huh?
Uh,
'Cause he hasn't-
well. I mean,
well,
these-
Byron runs 4 to 5 times per event now, so if
those points add up.
But he loses every battle.
he loses every battle,
doesn't
but
ma-
the amount of times
No,
he
no, no.
runs in
He
top
beat Peter
32,
Wiechak.
He moved
did.
on.
he finished final 4, top 4. Byron
Yeah.
beat Vaughn, so he got
that's
4th.
right. That's right.
Yeah, so he advanced pretty far this round. So he's technically leading FD points as of last round, but even more so. I think it's almost clinching it.
It's pretty much there, yeah.
Guy.
Yeah, we have some serious people that do some number crunching
Some
for
serious
us.
math. We can't do math.
Yeah, we turn it over to the audience, and they'll crunch some numbers for us. So Byron, what do you think of the lack of cars in Pro 1? You know, obviously there wasn't really an issue before this, but what's your take on having, 28, 30 cars max at a round?
Well, the lack of cars is to some extent by design or by choice.
Right.
Because when the FD started locking unlicensed drivers out, or guys that didn't have a Pro 1 license, and at the same time making it harder to get a Pro 1 license, now you're locking out a big chunk of people that could previously run an FD. So FD has obviously wanted to shrink the field.
Right.
Now, a lot of guys that are licensed aren't able to run for maybe financial reasons, or that they just aren't able to. And I think it's the right decision to shrink the field and maybe try and have. You want every battle to be a badass battle. You want to have 32 drivers that can win the event. And if you look at IDC, they're able to run with a top 24 format, and that's essentially what FD is doing right now by having 24, 25 guys in the show, and then doing a few buy runs. If you just get rid of those buy runs, you end up with the top 24 bracket. So to me, top 16 is the real show, and what happens before that isn't really a part of the show in a sense. That's just a qualifying number 2. So I think it's fine the way it is, but obviously the focus should be on trying to nurture and bring better teams and have all the guys that are licensed compete in the series. But I don't think a small field in itself is a problem.
Well, do you think the perception of the series is kind of weird when you have the highest the largest drifting community in the world having a lack of top 32? Do you think that could scare potential people interested in wanting to get in the sport sponsor-wise, especially with all these competing series now starting up like FI and things like that? Do you think having that, people complaining, and a lot of this is driven by audience themselves saying, dude, they can't even feel the stack of cars, right? Mm-hmm. The audience is really the judge of this whole organization, and for them to bitch about this, it could be a weird perception on the series. So I don't know if it's something where it scares people away or if it gets more people involved or what, but it's just, I don't know, that's something that concerns me too, you know what I mean? Because it is very audience-driven, the sport is.
Sure, but at that point, it's about presentation. It's how FD presents it. If they presented it as a top 24
correct, I would agree with you. Yep.
It'd be fine. Look at the world's largest motorsport, Formula 1. How many teams are there in Formula 1 or drivers?
Oh, shoot. 20?
16?
18?
16,
yeah.
18, yeah.
It doesn't have to be a huge field of drivers. Yeah. And I think, like I said, top 16 to me is the real show. So, but I think FD could work on how they present their top 32, and instead of having Mr. Byron be a part of half of the battles, maybe they could present it in a different way to where it looks like this.
It's just a normal show.
It's made for 24 drivers.
And I would fully agree with you on that. And I think Formula D needs to really start looking at that, as rather than giving options for buy run, they should just stagger the field and give a 24, 26, 28 bracket. Maybe, the number 1 qualifier, may get a buy run. Great, give one away. But I really think they should structure it to not confuse the new audience, but also keep it looking more proper and structured. Because once again, it could taint the series in some degree, because I think that's been honestly one of the most talked about things over the years is the lack of cars. For whatever reason, that is one of the talks of the towns that's been since Long Beach, lack of cars. I just think perception-wise, FD needs to kind of alter that to keep it like, no, do you know what? We run every which way. If there's 32 cars, we run 32. If there's 24, we run 24. If they can sell it that way, I think people will have a better understanding.
Agreed.
Look at that. Come to agreement. Yeah.
Look at that. I mean,
trying to make the series better one day at a time. And also, it's kind of cool, once again, and the whole purpose of the show was listen to the drivers' input on all these things, because hopefully one day it does influence the series. Say, do you know what? We only know what's presented to us. If we don't hear about it, it doesn't exist. So, that's just another thing that we can look at for the future to smoothen things out. It's like the show. except they have a little bit more experience than us. Obviously, we have a little rough patches
yeah,
here and there.
We don't know
But
much.
the thing is, as soon as we find out that where the issue is, we try to fix it. And not saying top 24, 26 is an issue, but it's definitely something they can clean up the series to make it more understandable. And like you said, dude, top 8 guys have the option to do buy run. If you miss that buy run or decide to throw it away, you're sitting for 3-4 hours that day.
It was not.
Which,
Okay.
Yeah.
Once again, we lost audio with these guys for some reason. Okay, so Skype is just giving us,
but
is giving us a
here's
little
the
bit
thing
of
is,
problem.
I
So,
don't think we should
Corey?
just say that we should have just Brian jump on it instead of always announcing that it's all because we can keep running with it. But that's the other thing is the fan is so influential. You guys that are listening to this is so influential on the perception of the sport. Like even when the V8 issue came around, the drivers didn't have the issues with the V8s. It was the audience who had
Well,
the.
show to go smoothly.
There you go.
Sorry, you're back. Yeah, we were just talking about for the slight minute that you guys stepped away. We were just talking about the effects of the influences of the fans swaying the sport. You know, the V8s weren't an issue with drivers; they're only issues with the diehard fans. You know, and the same thing with the
Right.
buy runs and things like that. But anyhow, moving on. That was my rant on buy run.
so let's talk about the battles going on here, Freddie. So then in the 16, you went against Nasty Nate. What was that like? Nate's seems like he's been growing a lot as a driver.
He's
I
not
still
nasty.
feel like he's not
He's
nasty.
nice, Nate.
I know that's a goof though. I mean, but how was that? What's it like driving with Nate Hamilton in 2017? Because he's grown a lot. I still think he's obviously not on Fredric Aasbo's level. Who is? But you know,
He is. I was watching him in qualifying, and he put down probably some of the deepest runs into turn 2. And he's the kind of guy that is really smooth, really straightforward kind of guy, but that's gradually finding his place in all of this. So that was a good battle, and I think we just had a little more speed on him, and that ended up being it. He did really well this weekend, and he's such a class act. Like always comes over after, and he's the kind of guy you want to see do well in the sport.
Yep.
he's a good ambassador for the sport because he's always pumped up on whatever happens for the most part. So
Yeah.
he's an excited guy. And then you went against Canada's hometown hero, Mark Vanderbilt, owner
Yep.
of, or not owner, I don't know, is he the owner of Pink Paradise?
Pink
or is he
Paradise.
He's
shareholder and
who knows exactly the deal, but his crew chief runs Pink Paradise.
so he's
I'm
part of
told.
Pink Paradise, a strip club in Canada. He brought strippers to the track. You're going against the guy that brought strippers to the track. How'd that
Yeah. Mark's awesome. I remember first time I saw him in FD, and he's a very hold stumped kind of guy. Like he likes to drive. He basically likes to keep it pinned, and he did exactly that at this track. Like he's the only guy I saw that held the pedal to the metal all the way through the first turn, across the center section, and into turn 2. And you could tell he's been practicing at this track a lot, and he was a lot faster than I anticipated. And I thought that battle was going to go either one more time or that he would win. So when we ended up taking the win there, I was really puzzled. And,
Yeah.
And
You were puzzled. You didn't think you won.
No, I totally not. So he caught me by surprise by being a lot faster than I anticipated.
Yeah. It was definitely fun to watch because has he even competed this year? I don't even remember. Has he been at another event?
I don't think he's been in the U.S. for Pro 1, but he
Yeah.
did win the Pro 2 championship last year, right? And he did
Right. He
mention
came back.
that he's trying to get to Irvingdale this year.
Well, but yeah, it was definitely someone that I think is needed in the Pro 1 circuit in the sport
Yeah,
because he
totally.
obviously showed that he can drive like crazy
Yeah.
by nearly taking out you, which is nuts. What do you guys watch that battle live?
Yep.
Corey Paca?
Yeah, I mean, Landerberg pretty much, that's his home track, and he was driving it like he knew it perfectly. He was
Yeah.
pulling a lot of tire smoke, lots of angle, just looking good. I mean, even Joey on Wrecked, he mentioned today that Landerbill is one of those drivers that's really been missing on the series, where he's capable of putting a good show and like he said, almost taking you out. So I think that's commendable, and for him it should be like a calling, saying like, hey, I need to run this thing. I can be up there with all these guys.
100%. Yeah, and he's a class act too. Like even after all of that, and I think he also sort of sees it the same way that maybe that at least should have been a one more time. But he congratulated me today, and he's always a cool guy. That understands that sometimes calls go your way and other times they go the other way. So definitely want to see him in Irwindale.
Hopefully, yep.
And then the long-awaited battle that we've wanted to see for a while. Has it happened before, you against Dean, or is this the first showing? I don't remember.
One time in 2008 and one
Ooh.
time in 2012.
Yeah. So this was the first time in this season with Dean dominating 2017 from the Drift that he went against previous champion and now big dog contender Aasbo. So we had the Norwegian Hamdinger versus Dean, the Jimmy Dean Johnson.
You have a couple dingers.
What was going into your head going to that battle?
See, those kind of battles are the ones that really get my blood rushing. You know, this is what I live for. You know, like going up against the guys that are better at what you want to be best at. You know, James is arguably the best well-rounded drifting talent that I've seen, at least from the Western world, be it Europe and the US. I mean, maybe there are guys comparable in Japan, maybe Kawabata or Naoki, but it's hard to say because it's a different thing. James coming into FD and like a bomb this year has been epic to watch. And I've been waiting for that to happen for years because I've been following him really closely in Europe, seeing what he's been up to, seeing how he's dominated. And again, going back to qualifying on Friday, James really showed what he's capable of when he made that super patchy, greasy track look like butter. Like he put down a stellar qual run. So I knew that at this point, I'm not able to match his chase driving. I'm not able to match the line that he's driving, and he has a car that's set up real nice for him, fairly loose.
But you just hold on. I'm gonna stop you there. You chased better than him. Obviously, he made a mistake when he chased you, but I think you obviously chased him better than he chased you. Why do you say you're not able to match that?
Because if you look real closely at those two runs, he has areas of the track where he's chasing me really close and closer than I was, and those would be the hardest parts of the track. So coming out of turn one, across the infield and transition and into turn two, he was basically glued to my door, whereas I fell behind a little bit. Yeah. But then again, that's what ended up biting him in the ass because he pushed a little too hard going into turn two and washed out. And that was all it took. So I feel like we had this slightly faster car, slightly grippier car in that battle, and that turned out to be our advantage and his Achilles heel, if you will.
Hey, even though he's not on Achilles, but you know.
Yeah, but it's that battle goes to show that a lot of the work is done before the run starts.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's almost like he felt like he had to push that a little bit extra, and usually when you feel like that, it doesn't pay off. At least that's my experience.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the craziest battles of the season, I think, and just seeing they were the closest follows, I think, pretty much of the entire round. And I've never, I think we've really seen Dean make a mistake yet, which is strange. So seeing him make a mistake, seeing him not be able to follow you by going a little bit too deep in that outer zone was definitely a wild sight. And then also, not to mention that, I don't know if like, were you on, this is a weird thing to say, like, were you on anyone's radar for like beating this round? Granted, you won last year, but I feel like everyone was kind of expecting Dean. Chelsea was driving like a madman. Kristaps was driving like a madman all event, but it's like I guess I talked to you last night. It was only last night, Jesus. But when or 2 nights ago, we were saying that I think you kind of came out of nowhere in this event. I don't know, like you weren't one of my top 3 choices of watching on practice, and then you beat the points leader and then won the event.
Yeah, it's crazy things happen when it really matters. You know, when you saw the crashes. The track was really tricky with ever-changing conditions. It gets really tight in that first turn, and the wall sucks you in, and it's you have to be on the cautious side a little bit. And if you don't, the risk is just through the roof. And you saw that with all these guys crashing left and right. And you know, I'm just really happy I got to put on a good chase, you know, on Dean, proving that I can do it. Because a lot of times I get accused of holding back, and sure, sometimes we do hold back, but that is because a lot of guys are really hard to chase because they may not be as consistent as James. So you know, it goes back to the drifting being about consistency, and a good chase can't happen unless there's a good lead, and that's where James is amazing and so much fun to battle because you know he's going to do the same thing over and over. You can trust it.
Yeah, well, it takes two to tandem, and
as the old saying goes.
Yeah, as the old saying goes, and we've seen that with for example with Castro. You know, like he did one of his most amazing runs in his career so far, driving against you know the most awesome driver. Let's just say like the most awesome driver right now. You know, like everybody's super hyped about him, and I mean obviously with a reason. You know, he's definitely good. He has that style, but at the same time, you know, he's not unbeatable, and you know, you're proof. Obviously, you're a champion. Castro took, and he's, you know, while he's not, you know, on the bottom of the list, you know, he's not like a top 5 driver, top 8 driver, but you know, regardless of being, because I think on that run against Castro, I mean, I don't think nobody did a mistake. It was literally just Castro's run was way better, so. He's one of those drivers, like they say, you know, he's one of those drivers where you have to beat him up, like by doing so much more better. You can't try to beat him up waiting for him to make a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which thankfully you did this time for Aasbo.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's when you make mistakes, it's usually because you want it. It's either something happens or you want it a little too much. So, and I've been really trying to dig deep and figure out how I am able to stay in the zone where I don't want it too much, because I'm a guy that naturally wants to do it a little bit better every time, and I used to, you know, take myself out that way. And I think this time that may have happened to James. I mean, maybe if you ask him, he feels differently about it, but that's often what happens, and maybe that's what happened to Castro this round as well when he crashed into JR. He said he really wanted to take JR out, and Castro, in my opinion, he's proven that he has tremendous car control. He has a great car. He is a great driver.
He's your teammate.
That's it. Yeah, but he is, in my opinion, he's 95% there. If that last part clicks, then he'll be a championship contender for sure. But it goes to show that if you're only 95% there, then you may lose out early. But if that last 5% clicks, now you're part of the top.
And that's probably mostly because all the other top 5 or top 10 drivers are pretty much 99 to 100%.
Right. Call it that. Look at Chris Forsberg this year, with Chris winning the championship last year.
Yeah.
This year, really struggling. That doesn't mean he's not as good of a driver or doesn't have as good of a car. It's just the one little piece or a few little pieces are missing, and then it all falls apart a little bit more often. But once he figures out those 2 little things, then boom, he'll be right back where he belongs.
Yeah.
I think it's unfortunately the car, but like you were saying with Castro, I think Chelsea's in that same position too, because Chelsea I think he won practice. He followed the shit out of you, Aasbo. Like he was trying to win practice when he was following you like that, and he qualified super high, and then he took himself out like yet again. Like if that guy could just dial in. The worst part too is having a conversation with him. We're just like sitting around the tables in Vaughn's pit, and I was like, "Hey man, if you could just not take yourself out, I think you're going to be on the podium." Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, I agree." And then he fucking took himself out.
You jinxed him, dude. You jinxed him, Sam.
Yeah, it was my fault. I was worried about that too. It's like, oh, now I got in his head, and now he's going to screw up, and it's my fault. So sorry, Chelsea.
Yeah, that's like my my good friend Moy telling
Oi.
Jared McNamara not to spin in Long Beach in 2011,
Ooh.
And that's what he told this guy.
and that's
So-
what happened.
Is your buddy's fault that the sky got ruined?
Yep.
We're gonna call that corporate what's the word when sabotage. Corporate sabotage. Okay, yeah, we can't hear him again. Okay, so let's get them back. No. Okay, so okay, we're getting them back right now. So, Corey, what do you think?
I don't know. I was trying to think of who, after their small discussion there. That sounds like we kind of got them back. They're
Are
clicking
they back?
them out.
Yeah, let's just
But,
get them back.
Obviously, you guys were talking about Castro, and it seems like, and this was kind of the topic of conversation in the chat, is the past
Oh, there he is.
They're back.
past few rounds. It just seems like the whole Papadakis team has been driving on a different level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, their cars seem to be a lot more reliable. Have you guys gone through any engines so far, Freddie?
Have we gone through any engines so far? Answer is yes.
Yeah, didn't you just put one in before Canada?
Yeah, we did. So we lost basically top 8 in New Jersey. I blew the engine, and
Okay.
that was actually the first time we've lost an engine in competition.
There you go.
So we've lost engines before, but it's always been in practice, and we've been able to fix it. This was the first time it mattered. So big blow. Steps at it. He's figuring out this crazy shaft rocker arm setup for the motors now. We didn't put that in for Canada. It's not finished yet, but we put another one of the same kind of spec in, and the issues we're having now is basically rocker arms coming off in the head, and we thought we had it solved, but apparently not. So we raised the RPM limit of the engine in order to try and not hit the limiter as hard, and that makes the engine a lot more fun to drive or to use as well, because now it's revving like crazy. It's like that little 4-banger is pretty crazy, dude. It's like 9,000 RPM, 200 shot of nitrous. It's like you're getting a kick in the butt every time it spools. It's pretty gnarly. It's amazing.
What tire size are you running on your car?
305.
275, 40, 18.
Holy,
275.
that's actually pretty wide for a Corolla if you think about it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
compares into the car for sure. And
Yeah.
that puts you in. Well, if you're running a 275, that puts you what, at around 2,800 pounds?
I think the car can weigh 29. Is
29?
that so? And it actually weighs over 3,000 pounds. It's actually heavier than the TC.
Really? So the car is heavier than. Why are you guys not running a bigger tire then?
Because Nexon doesn't have a bigger tire that we can use, and we want to lighten the car anyway, and we will do that now. Now that we need new doors on the car, we're going to make them out of fiberglass or carbon fiber. So there's still a lot of weight to take out of the car. We just wanted to get going with the car before we figured the rest out.
Hmm.
Huh.
Do you actually so do you see any actual advantages from running this car instead of the TC? Because I mean, obviously there's a lot of controversy on like why the Corolla, why like this car that this shouldn't be an FD, blah blah blah. And we had Steph on the show a few months ago, and he pretty much explained us from his point of view what it was like to kind of like being pretty much forced by Toyota, I guess, to use that car. But from your point of view as a driver, like do you feel that car like different, better? You see it as like you guys are handicapping yourself? You think you guys have an advantage, a cutting edge? Is this the way to go nowadays to be a champion?
I don't think the car is the best chassis to start with. Definitely not. But
I mean, based on the fact that it's not a rear-wheel drive car from factory, right?
so Yeah, so it's not the best. It's not the best chassis to start with, but that's not because it was a front-wheel drive car. That's simply because it's a tall car with maybe weight in the wrong places and it has short overhang. The subframes and the suspension, however, is actually pretty good for drifting, and that's what we learned with the TC. So the Corolla actually has the same subframes as the TC, and it's very similar to an E46 BMW. So the footwork of the car and the suspension is actually, if you when you really get into it, is well suited for drifting. Now,
But is the rear subframe factory from an all-wheel drive Corolla?
it's not an all-wheel drive Corolla. It's from a front-wheel drive Corolla. The car doesn't have to be all-wheel drive for it to be eligible for FD. That was way back. That's an old rule book.
Really?
Absolutely, I think it's 4 years ago or something like that. FD changed the rule book saying that any front-wheel drive car, basically there's no more rules stating that the car has to be all-wheel drive. The only requirements for the chassis is that I think it has to be 2, 4, or 5 doors. And it has to not be a truck or I don't
Like a
remember
body,
the exact
body and
wording.
chassis. It has
But
to be a unibody.
You can essentially take any front-wheel drive car and turn it into an FD eligible car.
Wow. See, like I didn't know that. You know that, Corey?
No, I didn't. Because
It's in the rule book.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, I look at the rule book, and the thing is like 47 pages of stuff, and they talk.
Who has time for that?
And well, no, but then they talk about can't alter certain planes on the rear subframe, and you can't do the. But if the car doesn't have like a rear subframe with a diff in it, and you have to put one in it, what can you take out to put in? Like that's where the rules get confusing. Is you can't alter the planes of the rear subframe. Well, guess what? There's really not one in that.
And that's where, if let's say you wanted to make a front-wheel drive drift car for FT, that's where you got to figure out what car you want to start with.
Right.
Because even though you can put a diff in there, you're not allowed to change the suspension pickup points. And a lot of front-wheel drive cars have really wonky, weird rear suspension. They have these like weird torsion bars and stuff like that. And that, I think that'd be a lot harder to make work than what we currently have in the Corolla and the TC.
That means I can actually bring the Buick Riata to Formula Drift, Corey. How about that?
Yeah, you should. What's up? Because that car came all-wheel drive too, didn't it? And that's how I thought people like implemented the rules. Oh, Fredric's running an IM. It's because it's all-wheel drive in China.
And I thought
that's what made it legal.
This is the perfect example of drifting rumor mill, because you have some guys, maybe credible guys even, talking about, oh yeah, I think that's the reason, and now that's the truth, and then the whole snowball continues, and it's that's just not the case. And but because it was the case with TC1 under that rule book, it's probably what people think is the reason now. So it's and this goes for a lot of things in drifting. There's a lot of rumors around, right? And a lot of it, I guess, is just not true.
Well, that's a good point to bring it up, because that's what was the confusion that everybody was having with that car is that.
Well, a lot of people was calling it like,
it's a cheater car
cheating.
because
it's a cheater car.
yeah,
Like how is this car a cheater car? Like how is it better? Like like it has it to me it still seems like a handicap car. You have a less overhang on the rear, which makes it super hard to put it on the wall.
Yep.
Because if you get too close, there goes the rear tire.
If you're to break it down, so let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of that car. Disadvantages: low or short overhang, high center of gravity. It has the firewall really far to the front, so it's hard. If you put a heavy engine in there, the car will be really front heavy. Those are some of the disadvantages. Now the advantages would be it has a really good suspension for drifting. The rear trailing arm setup, a good McPherson front setup. For us, we have a lot of data from running the TC for 5 years. So it wasn't like we started from zero. We started off with the car 80% there.
Right.
So for us as a team, that was a natural car to go to.
Yep.
So, but I think if you were to start from scratch, I think a Supra is probably the best chassis for drifting. And if I could choose, I'd probably try and run a Toyota Supra for technical reasons. But in order for us to race and in order for us to grow and stay with Toyota, which is an amazing partner to have, we want to do, well,
Looks like we lost audio again. Um, it's so weird that this keeps happening. Just redo the phone call real quick. It's
I blame it on the Canadian internet.
it's a Canadian internet. Actually, it could totally be. Sorry, Freddie. We lost that very last piece of what you were saying. The Canadian internet seems to not like the American Driftcasts.
I think this is a problem in Arizona because I can see and hear Sam perfectly.
Oh man,
Looking good.
we're only like broadcasting live at the same time. We're running like 5 webcams and having. It's also like the good looking factor. How many good looking people we have on screen at the same time? 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's all the bandwidth that's being consumed by the jawlines.
I think it's cool how Sam's in his boxer shorts.
Those
Yeah, Sam's
Well, we
Sam's
often joke
trolling.
on the show how we never wear pants, but now it's confirmed that I just don't. If I'm at home, like I don't even wear a shirt right now. Why would I wear clothes at home?
just
So
because
Sam,
there's a
Good
camera
point.
looking
I-
at you.
Hey, I'm here, commando.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
stand up,
in
stand up.
kilts.
I was gonna say when Sam has business meetings over like video conference calls, he's wearing like a business suit up top, but you're just wearing his Spider-Man underwear at the bottom with cowboy boots or something.
All right. Well,
So
are we
sorry.
good to talk? Are we good to go?
Yeah,
Are
we're
you
good.
fired
Yes.
up?
But you're saying you were talking about the Supra, Freddie, that you would say that's still the ultimate platform.
I think so. Double wishbone front. It has a really sturdy, good rear end that you can modify to make whatever squat you want. And to me, I'm not saying that just because I'm biased and like the Supras. I'm saying that from a technical standpoint. I still think that is a great chassis.
Right.
Would you run your Supra with the same setup, engine, transmission you have on your your IM right now?
Yeah, probably. We're still running the NASCAR style transmission. A lot of guys are going to sequentials, and that's kind of the cool thing to have the anti-lag sequential setup. But I'm not sold yet. And we've gotten offers on being sponsored even by transmission companies and stuff like that. But nope, we're staying true to like the old and tested. And I think that's that whole ideology of sticking to tested, to stuff works. That's something that's really anal about, and something that I think has paid off for our team.
Well, it's
Big
part
time.
of being reliable, right? You don't have time to experiment while you're going through a
You don't want to
competition.
develop while you're racing.
There you go. You heard it from Aasbo himself. You don't want to develop while you're racing.
But that's exactly what you've been doing all year so far in this brand new car.
Well, they pre-developed that
Seemingly so.
heavily.
Yeah.
Heavily.
You're cheating.
Yeah, this has been 3 years in the making.
Did we lost him again? We did lost him again. I just refreshed that call. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really embarrassed for this. I don't know why this keeps happening, but for some reason Skype
It's killing me.
Skype keeps disconnecting us from the guys. They are still together and talking.
Right
and
here.
Yep, there you go. So you can see Sam's
Every
angry
second
face.
that we're not connected with you, we're talking smack.
Oh, okay. So now you know.
All right, so we've talked about the team battle now, and now you battled the Latvian lover himself, Kristaps.
Here comes the moment of the truth. Aasbo, Freddy. Wow, unbelievable. So we lost him again. Let's okay. Apparently, I'm sorry. Okay, for some reason there's something going on. It's probably, I don't know if it's the computer or if it's the internet. But let's just get this guy sorted out again. Corey,
Okay, well,
No,
dude, guys, I'm sorry. For some reason,
it's all good.
yeah, it just keeps dropping. But
I'm gonna
there you-
assume that we're good right now. So
yes, you guys are good. As soon as you guys hear us saying that, you guys
Yep.
are back.
You should
Osbo,
pause your torrents.
Yeah,
Your
download it.
Russian torrents.
I'm downloading hentai.
Figured.
All right. So,
course.
Osbo, what is your relationship like with Kristaps off the track? Have you guys hung out? Have you cracked open a beer together?
Yeah, we're both members of the Flower Club, and we collect stamps together and
Nice.
Yeah.
hold hands. And it's, I think our beef is blown out of proportions a little bit. You know,
Oh, yeah.
we talked it out in Long Beach after what happened, and Kristaps is, I think, is a super cool guy. That is a God's gift to FD because he is. You know why? You know
Yeah.
he is. What you see is what you get. He's straight up. He is a madman behind the wheel. Clearly, builds badass cars. Guy.
Yeah, because he hit
But-
you 4 times in that last run, but we'll get to
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But you know, we talked everything out in Long Beach. I let him know very clearly that I definitely did not park on purpose. I was fighting a car that was really, really loose and almost came around on me. And it was a mistake that I probably should have been penalized for. But I'm not the judge. I'm just trying to hold on and drive the car.
Yeah.
And from then on, you know, we were talking. You know, he showed me photos of his daughters in the next drivers meeting, and I'm buying parts off of him.
Wait,
I'm running.
Kristaps has kids?
I think so.
Let's hope this is not like some kind of lost in translation thing where he's starting to say these are my daughters, but he actually meant like these are the kind of women that I want to introduce you to, or something like that. But I don't think that's the case. But my God, we lost him again. Oh my God, I'm suffering right now, Corey.
Yep, I feel ya.
I mean, like honestly, and the worst part is I'm just more like I'm angry because the guys who are listening to the show and watching the live stream they're the ones who are suffering the most because
Yeah.
really sorry guys. I guess this is just gonna happen a little bit, but you guys are good to go.
What if we turn off video? Let's just turn off video for a second and keep talking.
Actually, let's try to turn Sam's video off for a little bit. How about that? Let's just do one. Okay. There you go. There's Sam's Skype icon. So, all right, Freddie, you were saying.
Yeah, Kristaps is a diehard competitor that has his heart in the game. He wants to win fair and square, and I you know, he gives it everything he's got, and sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it takes him out, and him and I have gone together or battled together 4 times now, and every time there's been some kind of hiccup, you know, where he's taken himself out, or a car is broken, or I almost spun. So I think it's clear that we both really want to win, and I think that's when some of the best stories are made. And you know, I think the brawls that happen in the pits after, be it between Kristaps or me, and be it between Justin or JR, I think that's awesome for the sport. That's what the fans want to see. You know, that's going to grow the whole thing. What would NASCAR be without a little bit of a bar brawl or ice hockey?
Yeah, and those
Speaking
rivalries
of
are.
which, I was very disappointed that JTP and Vaughn didn't end up in a complete team on team super like battle royale. I was standing behind my camera just waiting for JTP to hit Vaughn and be like, all right, I'm gonna jump in there and start throwing punches because I figured it was gonna be like a team on team throwdown, but then it was a clean battle. It was so weird.
Yeah, times are changing, huh?
Yeah, but definitely, like when there's rivalries, it seems like there's a better story to sell to the audience. Even if it's just like a made up rivalry. What do you think?
100%. It wouldn't be fun if we were all walking around holding hands, right?
I don't know. That sounds pretty fun though. You really think about it, like if you're all walking around literally holding hands, that'd make a great video.
Sure, but like everyone's seen cars drift around the track. We all know what that looks like, and sometimes this guy wins, sometimes that guy wins, and sometimes we have epic battles, but most of the time, maybe not. So all the little extra spice is good. After all, it's not really about the cars. It's about, you know, a bunch of dudes and their rivalries. It's the personal touch that makes it so exciting, I think.
Yeah.
That's why girls watch the Kardashian show, right? Because it's that they identify with that, and it's the personal chemistry. So if we take that out of the sport, it wouldn't be that exciting anymore.
Well,
So that's why I think FD should play that up. They should play the drama up more.
It definitely adds up to the whole. Like I said, like drifting is half a popularity contest, and when you have a story going on, people's talking about you, even if it's like, oh, this guy is been pitted against this other driver, it definitely adds up to that story, and I think it's all about how you present it. Like you could just like kind of like not play with it, and maybe it's your fault. Maybe you're just trying to be nice and say like, oh, I don't have beef with anybody, and maybe the other guy's like, well, I do have beef with you. I don't know, but at the end of the day, it's what people talks about, and I guess that's that's really what the reason why like wrestling is popular. And the thing is, like, everybody knows that wrestling is fake and is scripted. So I wonder if that's what makes people think.
Oh, wait, what do you mean, Pucka?
Sorry, Sam. No. Wrestling's not scripted at all.
Cool.
Yeah,
Is wrestling popular anymore though, or is UFC taking over?
Wrestling's still popular. I was over at Turk's house this last weekend shooting a video, and the Turk house was definitely watching some WWE.
Really?
Nice.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, Corey's getting pumped up over there.
Can you tell?
Corey used to watch WWE.
Macho Man Randy Sanchez.
Randy Man Macho Sanchez?
Yeah, he's #1 listener, first time caller.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I honestly, I gotta say, like, one of my favorite moments from this round was when Kristaps approached your door when you're trying to like remove your seat belts, and even I said like, Kristaps would be the most scary nice guy I will ever have, like, talking to me that close to my door. But when you guys get out and you hug it out and you can see that he's smiling, and so that was a great moment in my opinion. That was like, like, that's so cool. These guys are, like, they went at it. He hit you, like, it's just so similar, and now he's laughing about it instead of yelling at you from his car.
I remember Ryan Sage told me after the event that Kristaps is kind of like a bear, He's hard on the outside, but he's soft on the inside, and he is in it for the love of it. And at the time when that happened, right after the run, I felt him nudge me once, twice, maybe 3 times through the first turn. Started bracing myself. I was like, it's coming. Sure enough, boom. And at the time, I thought that did he do this on purpose because he had, because he knew he was at a big disadvantage already? Did he just push me off the track just to get it out of his system? And then I realized after, no, he just wanted to chase me super, super close and overcooked it. And we were talking about it. He actually said sorry and said my mistake, and we were hugging it out. And I was a little fired up at the time. I wanted to continue going, and it all kind of came together.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do some donuts after, and then it turned out when Kristaps got out of his car, he dropped his phone, and I did donuts over his car, cracking his screen. So.
Okay. And with that, oh my God, we lost him again.
I wish we can dub in our own audio whenever that happens. See, the thing, we could. So he did donuts over his phone, and then spaghetti shot out of the microphone.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Let's see, like, at that point, you would think he would be so pissed. Like, you run over my phone. All right, you guys are back. I'm sorry. You were just saying that he ran over your phone.
I ran over his phone. It was, I don't know, it was just crazy how everything transpired. It's almost like karma struck back or something, or I don't know what it was, but we were all.
Oh my God, it keeps breaking up. So I mean, it is. We have to apologize one more time.
We should just give it a break for a second. Give
let's
Skype a break.
Yeah, let's give them a break right now over there, and let's. Okay, there you go. So let's switch for a moment. Once again, let's apologize to everybody who's listening.
It's all good.
Arizona, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Jesus, man.
No. I'm in California now. I just moved to Venice. So I'm in California.
Oh.
There you go. So I think you guys are back.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I can hear you.
So I hope that you guys edit the shit out of this show, right?
Well, we're live right now, so the live is there. I'll figure
Right.
out the audio portion. But anyways, you run over Kristaps' cell phone. So what happened?
Yeah, and then we figured out his mechanic came over with the phone because he had that Find My iPhone thing, and he found the phone all cracked up and with being driven over. And,
Oh, still
and
good.
then we all hugged it out and walked to the podium, and
Which
That
is so
was it.
insane because I talked to him after the event and he told me about that, and like he doesn't know where it was or how that happened. It's just suddenly his phone was flying out of the car, probably because he hit you so many times. It flew out and then somehow ended up getting run over on the track, which is insane.
Wow.
yeah,
See, like
Yeah.
but that's a story. That's something to talk, and that's something that I'm sure a lot of people who's listening who didn't know that happened find that interesting. You know, like they're like, oh, maybe now it turns out maybe Kristaps put his cell phone on his dash.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
right. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I don't even know if it was over by his car or over by my car, but seeing as he came over to my car, he probably lost his phone along the way there. I don't know. He needs one of those belts with the phone holder, maybe.
Oh yeah, or just a Bluetooth on his ear the whole time,
Yeah.
like a robot. Well, do you dudes want to get to some audience questions?
There's a lot of Instagram questions. Freddie, do you have your phone with you, or are you Skyping from your phone?
We can.
I
throw
have
these
my
out.
phone with me.
There you go. Get your ass on Instagram, buddy. It's about to get crazy in here.
Okay.
Guess as
All right, so we can fire him off and choose some for him. Who's gonna get it rolling? You guys want to hit this?
let's say let's start with. Actually, we have a question. Question right here. No, okay, so it's gone. Let's see. Yamaha IT 465 says, please confirm whether or not you were shitting your pants when Kristaps was chasing you.
I can neither confirm or deny that I shat my pants. How about
Perfect.
that?
Beat Farmer 89 asking, Aasbo, what's your favorite beer?
Are these real people?
Yeah.
Beat Farmer?
Beat
Beat
Farmer
Farmer's a long-time
89.
listener, first
Yep.
time listener. He's here all the
Oh,
time.
cool. My favorite beer is it's kind of basic. It's Corona Light.
Corona Light.
Whoa.
Water with.
Light.
Don't
Why
tell
light?
anyone.
Why wouldn't you do extra, man? Come on.
The real
The
answer
calories.
is I think it tastes better. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Sam, what are you
I'm-
drinking?
I'm drinking a Pacifica.
Oh, that was from
Stephanie bought some
Ding Dong and
going to the
Whistles.
beach yesterday.
Ding Dong and Whistles asked Sam, what are you drinking?
Just a little Pacifico. Go with my taco. My Asian fusion tacos. My LA tacos. Macho Man Randy Sanchez. Great name. Would you rather be eaten by a shark or mauled to death by cats, Freddie?
Probably the shark. I think that's
Really?
way more gangster. Yeah.
Well,
That
I
is
don't
kind of
think
kick or
mauled-
two.
Mauled by cats is pretty gangster.
But that, imagine the pain. Oh.
You have I have one here from Manutastic, which, by the way, he was picking up every single piece of fiberglass at the racetrack this weekend. And I guess
That would be a lot of fiberglass.
there was
Yeah.
all the fiberglass on the track. So, based on your previous Drift Idiot interview, Driver and Driver, Manutastic is asking, will you declare war? Will you declare war to Latvia?
Oh my God. I don't think that's a great idea because even if it's a small country, those guys can punch above their weight.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have like the whole of some like ex-communist Russia stuff over there, and I don't
Dude.
know. I feel like in a fist fight with Kristaps, pretty much versus anyone. You know, he's a humble, quiet guy, but I think Freddie in a fist fight he might beat you.
Can you imagine a country filled with
think so.
Kristaps?
Do you think so too? Oh, okay, hold on. Let's do this. We've talked about this in the past. All right, let's talk about FD fist fights. You versus Turk. Who would win?
I still think Ryan would win because he would punch me a couple times in the face, so I couldn't see clearly. He would call in
Yeah.
his brother, and now
Wouldn't
I
his
see
hand
double.
break on your
and
Wouldn't his hand break on your jawline now?
that may happen, but then he has his brother still, so he
That's true.
can back it up.
All
Yeah.
right, you versus Pat Gooden.
I would.
Ah,
I don't want to punch anyone, especially not Pat Gooden. He is.
Yeah, but what if he starts it? What if he gets in your grill and slaps you
Yeah.
a couple of times, and he's like, "Fight me, bitch."
I would maybe hold his head like that, and then
Well, I
I
mean,
think I have long arms.
we
longer
have
limbs.
the maximum Driftcast classic question of: would you rather fight 100 Pat Gooden sized ducks? No, one Pat Gooden sized duck or 100 duck sized Pat Goodens.
Duck or dog?
Duck.
Duck.
Wah, wah, wah.
maybe all the little ones. That would be funny.
So 100
Maybe
ducks,
the ducks.
100 duck sized Pat Goodens.
Yeah.
That would be fun. I would just hug them all, and then like I'd have each of them have their own like individual Budweisers, like Bud Heavies.
oh,
Yeah.
but OGs.
Yep.
What about 100 Pat Gooden sized Kristaps Blues?
Ooh.
My goodness. That would be. What would that look like if Pat Gooden and Kristaps had
I
it?
do like the questions. Formula D driver fighting.
Dude,
That's a pretty good topic, Sam. I do enjoy
even
that.
Yeah.
even Jared and Ryan Sage were going at it on the live stream. They were talking about like who will win in a fist fight.
Yeah, who would in a
Really?
fight between Jared and Ryan?
Ooh.
I think with we asked Jared that, and he said that Ryan had that
The speed and agility.
agility, but
Yeah.
once he got him on a lock, like that was it, game over for
Jared's
Ryan.
Jared
a-
gets Ryan on the ground.
That's
Yeah.
why they call him the Anaconda. Jared the
What about-
Anaconda.
What about JTP and JR? Who
Oof.
would win that one?
JR, because he does so many. I think Abby has,
Abby's
like, beat
training
him up so
him.
many times that he now knows just how to fight, just because Abby kicks his ass
Well,
like
actually,
every weekend at home.
funny
She, like,
thing-
rolls over tractor tires on top of him.
I just saw one of Abby's Instagram stories, and she was like punching and kicking, and Vaughn was in the back like doing like the Karate Kid.
Like ballerina
yeah, that
stuff.
was awesome.
yeah,
That was good.
so
So that would definitely be an Aasbo win then.
Fredric
Yeah,
Aasbo gets the win.
I think that pretty much covers the questions. I mean, I don't know. What is up on the schedule for you, Aasbo? Aside from doing your Andy Gray training camp in Japan, what do you got going on before Seattle?
Just coming straight back to Seattle from Japan, and then off to London for a pretty cool Toyota shoot there, and then back to Norway, doing like a season kickoff with the Toyota trainees in Norway, racing go-karts with them and trying to drive the fast kids off the track so I can try and beat them.
Right.
So that's the only way. And then after that, going to Hong Kong with RZR again. Yep. Pretty excited about that. And then Texas, and then California, and then Texas again to Toyota, and then I don't remember what's coming up after.
And then you take a long nap.
It's gonna be a
Hopefully.
busy
Hopefully.
schedule. Before there's actually a question here from Max Frolik. What do you think about the fans in Canada? Which allow me to actually add to that question. Do you saw the cell phone waves from the crowd?
I didn't see it, no.
Dude, so on the people on the live stream,
Yeah.
whenever you guys were driving in front of everybody, when it was dark, everybody was lifting their cell phones. And yeah, it's on the discussion board. You guys can go and check it out. But you can see it just looks amazing. It literally it looks like a wave of light on the crowd
Right.
at the same time that you guys are flying by. It looked pretty badass. Like you guys really go check it out. But anyway, so what do you think of the fans in Canada?
I think they're awesome, and that's not something I just say about every crowd that we race in front of. But I think the fans in Canada, they're all really knowledgeable about drifting. They're really die-hard drift fans, and I think you'll see a lot of the other places we go. Maybe California, it's more like a family hangout. Everyone, it's a whole. They bring their grandparents and their kids, whereas in Canada, it seems like it's way more like hardcore young drift fans. that come out, and they're like really loud. They love it, even with the show taking twice the amount of time this time. Like we finished like what, midnight instead of 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
They were still there. I mean, some people started leaving at that time, but people were still there and they endured everything, and that just says a lot about the fans in Canada. It's probably one of my absolute favorite stops on the calendar.
Yeah, they got gravy in their bloodstream and they're going hot.
And
like those guys.
Oui, oui, oui.
Oui.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu. Uh-huh.
Ooh.
You boys have anything else for this Norwegian hammer?
It's mostly questions about Poutine and
No, I'm gonna say this. I think we need to seek redemption on this interview. I think we need another shot in the next few weeks at least, because I think there's tons of stuff that we need to talk about that we got interrupted with the cutout. I'm not 100% satisfied with it at all, and I think there's a lot of valuable stuff we need to get from this program and him, and I think there's so much more to talk about. And our apologies on the audio cutting out. I just know there's so much more that I would like to go over.
yeah.
But hopefully this doesn't take you away from wanting to be back on the show, because we are definitely going to clean this up and make it 100%. This is a new platform for us. But I want to get you on here, Freddie.
Actually, next time we want you to be sitting right here.
And we want to run through this on a different level and go through everything that we can. Obviously, the audio interrupting was kind of a headache, but I want to do this again in like 2-3 weeks at least.
I wanna be a part of it on one condition.
Yeah.
I want to watch Corey and Paco replicate the what's that spaghetti bolognese scene from The Lady and
The Lady and the
dogs.
Tramp. Oh yeah,
Yeah, Lady
we
and
would
the
do that.
Tramp.
We'll do that with.
That's how we eat when you go to lunch, man.
We'll
Like,
do that without spaghetti.
Do you need to wait, what?
We'll just totally make out for you if that's what you want to see.
Sure,
I mean,
good deal.
if that's what you're into.
Yeah, no, we'll totally do it. No, because I really, dude, I just want to sit here and pick your brain for an hour, but I just
Sure,
don't know. You know what I mean?
Let's figure out a good time. Maybe that is.
We will
let
be
me
in
know.
Seattle.
Let me
Maybe
know.
we can
We'll
even sit
figure
down
out.
for Seattle
Corey
for
has a
5-10
bunch of
minutes.
questions about how to set up a drift car for Fred.
Oh yeah, I know someone that knows someone that may
Yeah.
know someone that can help with that.
Yeah,
Well, we'll definitely see you at Seattle, and we'll talk about that somebody and someone to get all
Yeah.
that sorted out. Maybe they don't have poutine in Seattle, but what do they have in Seattle? What do people eat? What Seattleans eat?
Bark.
Bark?
yeah, tree bark.
They have vegan coffee and strippers.
Max
that serve you
Powers.
coffee.
Oh, that's right. They
Yep,
do.
the underwear coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have that here in Phoenix.
Forgot about that.
Oh, really?
They have the bikini bean espresso.
All right,
And
guys, I
Bikini
gotta
bean?
go
yeah.
get coffee. See you guys.
Dude, obviously, I know about all those terrible places to go get coffee. I've never been actually, but anyways, anything else you want to add? King of the North for the third time.
Thanks for having me on the show, and excited to for the rest of the season now. You know, hopefully we'll have
You're in it, man.
good practice in Japan. Try and get better, match James's skill levels. Try and hold back from the rest of the guys attacking the rest of the season, and then see if I survive it with the Latvian lover out for blood.
Well, you sound very humble and excited that you're in the race to win that championship.
You need to get
Again.
us. You need to get us a training montage, by the way, when you're doing your
the
training in
whole
Japan.
Eye of the Tiger kind of
Yep.
music, and okay, I'll see what I can
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
the brown eye of the tiger.
Outside the Tiger. All right, enjoy your frat house in Montreal with the FD boys, and we will talk to you soon, buddy.
do. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Later, Freddie.
Have a good night, buddy.
Later. You too. Take care.
Later. And he's gone, and we still have Sam here, by the way. So, hey Sam.
Now we can finally relax.
Well, I care. I really don't care if we lose you as much as we do Aasbo. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But Sam,
There you
there's so much I wanted to talk about, and I just didn't want to get into it knowing we were getting cut off.
Yeah. Well, we'll have him back soon, buddy. Don't you worry. But you guys have to edit the shit out of the show.
go. Well, I mean, I'll edit the audio portion.
I'm even.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah, dude, there's so much that I would want to talk about. Just, I wanted to bring up, facts of like previous accusations of him brake checking versus why did he go so much harder this round compared to other rounds. Why was the driving style so much different the last two?
I feel like he's a different guy now. Like honestly, it's.
But that's the thing I want to talk about.
And
it's like,
why didn't you brought that up?
Because we were gonna lose him in 2 seconds. And that's
bring him back.
Paco, I don't want to do that. I
I
want to
know,
sit
but
down.
I mean, you can still.
I want to sit down and have a real good conversation. And I know having that, it's like a spoiler when you sit down and be like, hey, why did you win the Super Bowl? And they're like, well, we won because, and then it cuts out the audio and you never hear the story. I would go insane if I did that.
I
feel you. And I didn't want to do that to the listeners either because I know I need redemption off this conversation. And I hope you guys kind of feel the same way. There's so much. Even going and talking about the development of the IM and how much longer he's planning on running that chassis, and if Toyota thinks the program's successful, obviously they're leading the points and doing very well. Also, why choosing? We talked about the IM a little bit at a couple places, but I just think there was so much more meat on that I wanted to get into the program side and the driving side and the competition side. And then driving outside of the country and comparing it in FIA. He has the RSR and these other cars outside the country. I think he's one of the only few drivers that can compete in the FIA because he has so many cars outside the country. Talk about that a little bit more. So, I didn't want to bring it up because of the lack of our connection or whatever it is. I know we'll get it figured out immediately, and I think we'll run a couple more tests on our side before next episode, but there's so much meat there. There's so much.
You want to get on Aasbo's meet?
I would. I would. I definitely would. So, and I just don't want this to happen again next episode. I know it's nobody's fault. I just think we just need to go through our end a little bit more and kind of freshly tune it up. But
either way, I'm happy to finally be back on the show, and it's great to see your face. It's great to see your body, your hands, your nose.
I like how you're holding the microphone right now. I'll give you that.
Let's not lie because you can't see us right now, Sam.
No, I'm watching the 10-second delayed on YouTube, so I can see Corey clapping his hands. I can see him fidget spinning. Corey's got 3 fidget spinners out, and it's very
dude.
strange
I
looking.
almost ripped this fidget spinner.
I'm gonna
halfway
leave it
out.
up to you guys to guess how he's spinning the third one.
I call it Triceratops. But yeah, I just think there's a lot there, and I think being in Seattle, it's only 2 weeks away. We'll get another show in, and then I think we'll do something fun in Seattle. Obviously, we'll be at the AM booth again.
Do you think he's gonna be at our go-kart racing day?
I think so. I think a lot of the AM,
the AM
guys
drivers should be there.
Most of them should be there. Like we sent out the notifications or the email to the drivers about 2 weeks ago, and most of them already responded. So I think
tell the kids about that again. What's the deal?
So Wednesday, I believe that's August 2nd at K1 Speed in Seattle. And we'll post some stuff on our Instagram. Yep. But we want to invite you guys all out to come drive some go-karts against us. We will be in our spandex racing suits, and you guys could be in your triple extra large rental suits with the half-shell helmets. But we're going to go out there. This is something we're putting together. This is something that on a different side, I've been working with the K1 race gear, and they're still owned by the K1 Speed. And it's like, well, let's bring this all together. You know what I mean? Like, let's bring both brands together with both of our brands and make some fun stuff out of it. So we're going to do this at every single round from every Pro 2 round from here on out. And, we maybe do something for Irwindale, too, since we're all going to be there. Yeah. But it's basically...
they're going to have a bunch of pros driving go-karts. Corey and I are going to be announcing while they smash each other and hopefully not
and if you guys are in the way, they will definitely smash you guys, too. So... No, but it's something really cool that we're implementing, and it's something that is also, next to the Patreon that's helping us get around to the events. K1 of these guys are being super supportive of the show, and they're kind of like, hey, let's get you guys out, let's get some racing in, and, just have more fun. And I think that's the whole point of the show is obviously talk about drifting, but have fun with everybody. And I think this is another way we can...
my sponsor, though, KY, not K1.
Oh, your
KY is covering a lot of my
KY Racing or KY Jelly Racing?
I've got a real heavy lube budget, and I'm just super pumped that they can supply me with as much lube as I need.
It makes you more fluid around the corners.
Yeah.
I heard you.
Well, it's mostly to fit into my track suit because I got a super tight suit.
I heard
So
before
I
you
just
hop
need
into
to lube up
bed.
my entire body before I jump in that thing.
Yeah, I heard before you hop into bed, you slick your whole body up with KY and just slide right into bed like a slip and slide.
That's correct. That's absolutely right. And
Did you see my?
also, when I go to the kitchen to grab some water and feed the cats, whatever, I like to slide to the kitchen. Like I don't like walking when I first wake up; it's tiring. And I just want to just schlick up the floor and just, you know.
So, anyways.
Ooh.
Oh, Sam's having a jet
Sam.
flyover. But anyways.
Huh?
There was some like kind of plane or something happening on your end. But anyways, one of the other things, our Patreons.
Yep.
First of all, we have to thank all our Patreons. You guys are awesome. You are the reason why this show is happening, and we couldn't have.
Jimmy,
We couldn't have
Bob.
done.
Carl, Deborah.
Harry Berry, he's the number ones. Look at that hat, Sam. Looks really nice on you.
Oh, look, he's got all the tags. You should
So
still
this
have it on
hat
the
that I'm
on the
wearing now, I
back.
haven't taken the tags off because this hat's special because it was my first Formula Drift event. I bought a VIP ticket in like 2010, 2011. I forget which event it was, but at Irwindale, and they gave me the hat for free. Back in the day, FD used to give you free hats. That's how big of a deal they were.
Wow.
And yeah, this is a free FD hat for my first event. And yeah, I put it on. For those that are not watching the visual portion, I put my hat on and a sweatshirt on too, trying to look like Aasbo. Because I'm a real dick.
But
Is it signed?
No, I signed it myself actually.
They
For
drifted
myself.
it. But you put it on your eBay and then bought it back.
Yep, that's correct.
Man, somebody bought it for $65. So I wonder who did it.
It was me.
You bought it
I
back.
bought
Yeah.
myself. All right, well let's shut this shit show down. Sorry for the weird audio stuff, but we're gonna fix it. And
we're gonna come back
in coming weeks, it'll
with a
be
better
smooth
show.
as
We'll figure out
a
what is
KY covered taco.
exactly going on with like what was breaking up. We'll check that out, by the way. Also, thanks to AM Intakes.
Yep.
Supporting the show, and also McLeod clutches. Sam, do you know that?
No, tell me.
Oh, let me tell you. So we are now have McLeod clutches. They're supporting the show. They are running. They send Corey. Corey, show the camera. They send Corey a pretty badass throwout bearing that's gonna be running on the Boss.
Oh, dude,
And-
that's so clutch.
Yep.
Aha.
There you go. McLeod clutch. It's pretty badass pieces. They're hooking us up with all kinds of good stuff. They're sending me some stuff for the van as well. I just need to confirm what kind of clutch and transmission flywheel I'm gonna be running. But pretty awesome guys. So thanks a lot, McLeod clutches. Check them out. Follow them. Check everything. McLeod clutches. Corey? What's a McLeod?
Tuner series.
McLeod Tuner Series. So yeah, it's McLeod Tuner Series. It's more focused on imports and drifting. So you can find everything for 240s and straight from them. Pretty good stuff, and without
Corey,
the ridiculous price.
we told you to put your throw bearing, not your dinger ring.
Dingleberry.
Well, yeah, your thrower bearing is still here in the studio.
Yeah, we still haven't put the transmission and throw bearing still here.
All right, cool.
No, that's actually that's just one for the show. Like they sent Corey another one just for his car. It's in there and
Yep.
it is
Ready to go.
freaking awesome.
Corey's gonna be driving. Yeah, you can check out Corey at Formula Drift Seattle. I think, right?
Yep, we will be there. Everything is
Oh
booked
my
and ready
God,
to go.
guys, so I don't know if you've listened to the show this far and you've listened for since we started the show years now. Corey's about to be a driver again, and this is a pretty big freaking deal.
I mean, he's got the body.
He's got the mind.
He's got the mind.
The arms.
I got the arms, that's for
Just
sure.
the car is just missing. But actually, no. The car. What happened to the car today?
The car
Corey?
got dropped off to get wrapped today, Sam.
Wiggity wiggity rap.
Yep.
What is that? What is
Oh,
that?
Sam's gone.
Yeah. What is
All right,
that?
bye, Sam. We don't need you anyways, you,
We
you
hate you.
dirty bird.
What is that new wrapping that you have in your car, Corey?
Oh, we can just leave Sam gone. Fuck him.
Up.
Yep, you can hang up on that.
No, he's right there.
That's
Oh, God damn it. All right, let's rewrap the show up again.
So yeah, but the blue machine is now going to be a new wrapped machine. And can you talk about what it's wrapped? Yeah, we already talked about it.
Already. We'll post. I posted pictures on Instagram. I'll post some teaser pictures. It's actually going to be done. If this gets released tomorrow, it'll be done Wednesday. So it'll be done in a day. And then we'll post pictures and all that stuff too. So yeah, super fun. We got a Maximum Driftcast logo on it, so you guys will know exactly where it's at and where we'll be. We'll be in the Rockstar Performance Garage AM intake pits. We'll be at K1, and then we'll be at Texas. We'll be at Grid Life. We'll be at oh my God, I haven't told you guys this. I can't tell you on the air, but I'll be in California August 14th, and I'll tell you.
We're on the air right now, Corey. What are you doing?
No, I can't tell you right now. I'll tell you next episode. Okay. But I'll tell you guys off there because I got in trouble last time talking about this topic. If you can remember that back that far. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I'll mention that. But yeah, there's a lot going on. I probably will only be home for a week in August. I'll just be like you, Sam.
Just like me, hooray!
Yay. How's California so far, Sam?
Oh, it's bitching. I've only been here for like a week. I've been traveling the rest of the time. I made a cool video with Turk last week, as you guys spoke to me a little bit there.
Was that two dudes, one Ferrari?
And yeah, love California. It's way better than where you guys live. Sorry. And
don't be sorry. You've grown up here, Sam, so you're already like a purebred. So I'm sorry. I was born in California, dude.
I'm white bread, not purebred.
You're like more like a rye bread.
I'm an iron kid, you fucking jerk.
You're more like of a sourdough, you doy.
All right, let's shut this show down.
All right, get out of here, Sam.
Before we start throwing punches.
Now you can start go smurfing your Chinese chicken tacos or whatever you got.
Oh, guys, hold on. Lorette's here.
Oh. Wait, there you go.
Where? Oh, God damn it, Paco. Paco just started getting hearts around his head.
Don't get the camera off my face.
We gotta go. All right. Thank you for listening / watching. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We're working those out. Make sure to check out Corey at hotdog/legs.org. Paco at paku.hentailover.gmail.com.
Thank you.
And you can check me out at sam.silverhairedbitch at silverhairedbitch.
At yogurtslinger.net.
Anyways, we're out.
Later, guys.
Later. Thanks for listening. Check us out on Patreon and check out McLeod80M. And anything else? We out?
We'll stay in the chat room and chat for a little bit as the show shuts down, but we'll see you guys in the virtual world.
Later, guys.
And you guys have a good night.